Hey guys, welcome to my tutorial. My name is Jeppe, and I am a technical concept artist here at Vizlab Studios. So you're probably wondering what the heck that means. Basically, I do the things that might be too difficult or too time-consuming to do with traditional modeling skills or painting skills in either Blender or Photoshop. So yeah, I do most of my stuff in Blender, and that's the software I focus on. And yeah, throughout this video, I'll go through like a bit about how we made some of the ingredients that are in our images. I'm making this space image, and right from the start of our process, we knew that we wanted to have like this corporate tower be an integrated piece of all our artworks, and we were a bit back and forth on how best to do that and create coherency. So yeah, we decided on taking a semi procedural approach to it, both to save some time on modeling, but also just to make it lightweight and not bog down each of our scenes in Blender. So yeah, let me take you through like a bit of the process behind like making these things. So yeah, here in Blender, I have this corporation tower that we made, and basically it's just a single piece. If I go over here, you can see this is the ingredients that the tower is made out of. It's basically this triangle shape with 3 different sides, and then it's just stacked, arrayed on top of each other. But one of the things, it's not regularly arrayed. One of the things we wanted to avoid was repetitiveness, but still, yeah, have it be unique. As you can see, we have these quite interesting spacings of shape here, which is given to us just for free by doing this kind of custom stacking of the modular pieces. And the way I went about doing this was I created my own array modifier thing with geometry nodes, and essentially it's just a line that goes up, and I calculate how high is a modular piece, and I place a point at each interval along this line, and at each point I basically just instance one of these 2 modular pieces, and I assign it a random rotation stepped in 120 degrees. And because this, as you can see, this is a kind of 3-way mirrored shape, so if it rotates 100 degrees this way, then like this unique side will be underneath like another unique side, and that creates like this cool distribution of big and large shapes in the tower. And yeah, that was basically it, like how I did the tower. And one of the things that I explored a lot during this process was like how to create planets as well. Yeah, so basically I have this sphere that I want to turn into a planet. I have a subdivision surface modifier on it, and yeah, the shader stuff is actually pretty simple. What I end up doing most of the time was just like find a cool image of some desert stuff, and what you can do is so right now the texture is really big, so I'll scale it a bit up. So now we get like this. All right, now we get like this repeating pattern. So the way I found that you can get some cool planet stuff into this was just modifying or introducing some noise into the UV coordinates. So if I make a mix, change it to a color, plug it in here, and take the UV and plug it into a noise texture. Plug this one into here. You can see like we get some distortion going on our planet. This already looks pretty cool. We can modify it a bit, of course. Make this maybe a bit less, so get some larger and some smaller stuff. So there's still a big seam here, and that's just the UV, so you can just turn that around or away from the camera. And yeah, do a bit of distortion as well. And yeah, I can change how much this effect applies to the UV coordinates. So the more you distort it, the more, or the less you can see like the repeating pattern. You can tweak it, of course, to what you want. And so yeah, the next thing I found was that of course, like a planet of this size would still have some roughness to it. So I just take the distorted image texture, put a color ramp in front of it, and plug it into the roughness. And what I usually like doing with these types of things is set it to B-spline, so you get a bit more like lenient curve to it. And just, yeah, cranking it a bit up, maybe even setting this like so. And so yeah, now we get like these cool highlights when the edge of the sun hits our planet. And so yeah, you can turn up the specular if you want. And we can do the same thing with our normal map. We can create a bump map with the same kind of technique, just a color ramp in front of here. And if I preview this, you can see right now, it's maybe a bit hard to see, but there's a lot of bump going on. And if I change this to black and then crunch the color ramp here, you can see I begin taking away from the bump map, so we get some like flat plains and some mountains. Just a quick, easy way to do this. Just plug this into the normal. And right now it's a bit strong, so yeah, just use the strength value to kind of have it a bit less intense, just so you can see a little bit of like shadow, especially like when viewing the planet at an angle. Then you can see. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, the next step is creating an atmosphere and some clouds. Quick and easy way to do this is just duplicate the sphere, increase the size just a bit, and I'll make a new texture for this. Don't need this anymore, and we actually don't need this either. So, or maybe we do. Yeah, so a principle, and then I'll take a mix shader, plug it in here, and I'll mix it into a transparent. And yeah, then I'll use a noise texture to create a mask. So we kind of get, if I put a color ramp in here, you can see we kind of get a bit of that cloud. These look very bad right now, but if we do the same trick that we did with the image texture, you can just make a texture coordinate and mapping with Control T if you have the node wrangler plugin enabled. And we can actually just duplicate our noise texture, plug it in here, and create a mix. Plug it into this. And now if we, yeah, you can see we begin to have like some of those like cloud formations forming. Increase the scale just a bit maybe, and put up the roughness and put up the detail. We get some very like cloudy looking shapes. Maybe a bit less, like so. And I can control like how much of the surface area I want covered with this, and control the fall off this color ramp. Yeah, something like this maybe might be cool. We can put it ever so slightly closer to the planet. Yeah, so now we get some nice shadows as well, and maybe just a bit more, like so. And to really sell this effect, we can duplicate our sphere again, increase it in scale just a bit, and create a new material. We take our transparent and mix it with an. We take our transparent texture and mix it with an emission texture, and if we use an add shader instead, like so. If we try to plug this in, there we go. Now you can kind of see we have like the basis of an atmosphere forming here. So what you can do is you take a mix shader again and put the transparent in here, and then I will take a layer weight node. It has this cool like phasing value, which just creates a gradient from the middle to the outer edge based on how you're viewing it. And if I plug this into a color ramp, I can control where that gradient is, like so. So I change this to maybe B-spline. I get a much more smooth gradient, something like this maybe. And take this here. Let's try to plug this in, see how it looks. This into here, this into here. Alright, so it needs to be a bit more. So right now everything that's white on this gradient will be transparent, and everything that's black will be this this emission color. Yeah, we need to switch these like so, and there we go. We have a start of an atmosphere here, and we can of course like tweak this, make this black just to get it a bit more in. You can like, now if I move this outer one, I can control how much the atmosphere creeps in on the planet. And yeah, I can with this one out here, I can control like where is the fall off going and starting. So you can kind of align this to the planet surface by just moving these like so. And yeah, we got a cool and quick planet going. Yeah, so that's a bit all about how I solved these issues. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video.